Welcome to our first of many flipped classroom videos. I'd like to work with you today on a concept on page 21, which I think is a great way to start our journey into the flipped classroom idea. You'll see on page 21, number 94 gives you a rhythm, actually two different rhythms, that involve 16th notes, you know, because they've got two bars at the top, and an eighth note combined. It's the first time we've seen this in the book. I think this is a great way to start because it uses two different kinds of notes, eighth notes and 16th notes, that you already know, but combining them in a way that we haven't seen yet. If you haven't warmed up, I'd like to suggest a concert E-flat major scale. If you need to warm up, please feel free to pause the video right now and go and warm up. Let's start by looking at the board. I want to explain this concept to you before we actually attempt to perform it. Let's look at the rhythm on the left first. You'll see here we have an eighth note followed by two 16th notes and a quarter note. If you don't know how to count this, let's break it down into notes we know. How many 16th notes can combine to make an eighth note? If you said two, you're correct. So we're going to rewrite this rhythm as two 16th notes tied together. It looks like a little smiley face. We're just going to bring these notes down because we already know they're 16th notes. We don't have to do anything to them. We're going to connect all four here. So I think you know how to count four 16th notes in a row, and we'll just use this quarter note as sort of a placeholder. You know how to count a quarter, I hope. So anyway, I'm going to grab my eraser over here, which I had neglected to move. I'm going to, for now, take out this tie. I want you to count this rhythm out loud and clap it. Now, I know it feels a little silly because we're not in class and you're just at home, but do it anyway. Now, here's your tempo. 1, 2, ready, go. If you said and clapped 1 and a 2, then you did it correctly. One, E, and a 2. Very simple rhythm. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tie these first two together, because remember, in our rhythm, they're actually part of one note that combine them together. So we're going to tie 1 and E together. Now we're going to end up, I'm going to move Mr. Urban's rain stick over. We end up with this rhythm. 1 and 2. Try it again. 1 E and a 2. Now you try counting and clapping with me. 1 E and a 2. Please remember to read the rhythm that's on the board. The point is to be able to read the rhythm, right? Your turn. Ready? Go. If you did 1 E and a 2, then you did it correctly. Now let's take a look at the rhythm over here on the right. Oh, before I do that, remember, this rhythm that we just did is this rhythm right here. So I can actually erase this and erase these extra lines and remind you that this rhythm is simply...
Would Mr. Greenwald please contact the front office?
1 E and a 2. The 1 and the E are part of the eighth note. Now let's move on. Now we've got a similar rhythm, except here we have the 16th notes followed by an eighth note. You know, because the 16th notes have 2 bars, the eighth note has 1. And we have a quarter note at the end, sort of keeping our place. So again, let's break this rhythm down as well. We know 2 16th notes, we're just going to keep them there as 16th notes. We don't have to do anything to that. They're already broken down into 16ths. Easy. Then we're going to break this eighth note down into how many 16th notes? I hope you said 2. 2 16th notes. We're going to add a couple extra beams, and we're going to tie them together because that's our eighth note. And then finally, we'll just put our quarter note here at the end. Now let's do the same thing we did before. We took out the tie and ended up with 1 E and a 2. Let's count and clap that together. Do it with me. I know it seems a little silly. Bear with me. 1 E and a 2. Ready? Again. 1 E and a 2. Easy enough rhythm. Let's tie the last two 16th notes together to make our 8th note. I'll do it first. Just listen and watch the rhythm. 1 E and a 2. I'll do it again. 1 E and a 2. Now you try it with me. Ready? Go. 1 E and a 2. Make sure you're not clapping on Remember, and are both part of this 8th note. Try that again. And 1 E and 2. Now again, that rhythm is simply the rhythm. If you can go around the video camera, thank you. This rhythm is 1 E and a 2. These two 16th notes become that 8th note. Now, if you need to go back and learn this again, please feel free to pause and then rewind and go ahead and try the video again until you've got it. You can go around. We have some orchestra people that have just come to rehearsal. So now let's take a look at number 94. 94 has 2 lines. A, we already know that line. We can count and clap that pretty easily. Let's try it together. Here we go, number 94. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to combine the 8th notes, the 16th notes into 8th notes in that exercise. Take a look at line B. Of course, I'm sure you already looked at your key signature. Remember, flutes and oboe, we have B flat, E flat, and A flat. Clarinets, we do have B flats, no B naturals. And alto saxes, we have no flats, no sharps. Everything's natural. Same for bari sax. Tenor sax, we also have B flats. Careful. So here's number 94, line B. Let's attempt to count and clap this together first. If you'd like, you can listen to me do it once myself. Ready? Go. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2. Now I'd like you to try it with me. Ready? Go. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2. If you counted and clapped that very well, now we can go on and try to play it. If not, go back and attempt to count and clap that again until you've got it. Here's line B. Let's play together. 1 and a 2 and a ready, go. If you did all right, let's move on to number 95, Tiraliraloo. This is a song, a Canadian folk song, that uses those 2 rhythms, or at least the first rhythm, 8th note followed by 2 16ths. Yes, that's the rhythm that this one uses. Let's count and clap the first 4 measures together. If you need to, I'll do it first. You can watch. Ready? Go. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2. Now it's your turn to try it if you haven't already. Let's do it together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2. If you've got it, let's try to play it. Watch out for your key signature. Flutes. Now you've got 3 flats plus a D flat. Same for oboe. Clarinet, tenor, saxophone, you have 2 flats, B flats and E flats. Clarinets, remember your E flats are D plus the side key. Tenor saxophones, remember your E flats are D plus the close pinky key. Very careful with that. Alto and bari saxes, you guys just have good old B flat. Remember it's A plus the bottom side key on the right. Let's try this together. First 4 measures of 95. 1, 2, ready, go. accents? If you can count and clap the first 4 measures, it looks to me like you can probably count and clap the whole rest of the piece. If you'd like to count and clap with me, let's do that now. Counting and clapping together number 95, all the way through. Ready? Go. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2. 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and 2. Now, you may have made a mistake, and I actually made a little mistake there myself. But the idea is to continue working on this throughout the week and a half that you have for this assignment. So every time you do it, it's a little bit stronger. What do you say we try to play this exercise? If you don't feel ready, go back and work on some of these.
Nick Perhoda, come to the front office, please. Nick Perhoda to the front office.
Go back and work on some of these other exercises before we attempt to play it. Here we go. Ready? Go. As you go and practice this, remember, it's not just about the notes and rhythms. We do have those staccatos and accents that I talked about earlier, but we also have a slur. Take a look at the second line of your exercise. You'll notice a slur in the second measure. Did you miss that? Try to get it when you practice this again. All right, if you feel comfortable with 95, then I'm happy to go on to number 96. 96 uses both of these 16th rhythms. The ones where the 8th note is first, 1 and a, and then it also uses the ones where the 8th notes are last, 1 E and. Be very careful. Let's try to count and clap together. I'm going to do the whole thing. If you need to pause and rewind and do sections, feel free. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and a 1 E and 2 and a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 E and 2 and a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 and a 1 E and 2 and a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2.
Brian Coughlin, come to the front office, please. Brian Coughlin to the front office.
Eventually, we will stop getting interrupted by the constant calls over the PA. Ladies and gentlemen, if you feel comfortable with number 96 counting and clapping, now it's time to try to play it. I do want to call your attention to your key signature. Also remember, there are times when we have 16th notes at the end of a measure, like measure 1, and then immediately again at the beginning of the next measure, like measure 2. Be very careful when you're reading these. There's no pause in between those 16th notes. Watch out for your dynamics, your articulations, and of course, always good tone. Let's try it together. 1, 2, and ready, go. If you've just played number 96 with great articulations, dynamics, excellent notes and tone, then you're well on your way to doing well with your 16th, 8th combination rhythms. I hope you've enjoyed our first of many flipped classroom videos. If you have questions, please feel free to leave your comments in the Google Doc that's marked below this video. You will have to click on the Open Google Doc link, add your comment to the document, and then it will be added to the page whenever anybody else looks at it. I hope you found this interesting and valuable. Again, you can always email me with any comments or questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Have a great afternoon. Get playing.